electrify my body, and you're making me feel like I'm so electric. Everything you do is making me blow, blow, blow. Don't know what to do about it, can't seem now to live without it. All I wanna do is just no, no, no. You suffocate my mind and now my atmosphere is crowded, and you being here is making me blow, blow, blow. You penetrate my space and now I'm looking out of place, and you're making it hard.
What's up, guys? It's Jake here from hookahrev.com, bringing you a video review for the Kaloud Lotus. This is a brand new product and idea to hit the market, and there's been quite a bit of buzz generated by Kaloud, of course. And for those that don't know, Kaloud is a company that's been around for a little while, and they created those flavor additives, basically like a powder that you put in the base that gives your hookah flavor a little bit more taste. So that's them. And now they're coming out with what seems to be more of like an innovative line of product. Well, everything that they do seems to be innovative, just because it is very different to what's currently in the market. But I mean, what I'm getting at is basically like the product like the Lotus is something that's more, I would consider, cutting edge. It's something completely different that we've ever seen in the industry. And the first and most notable thing that I want to mention is that it is of very high quality. So jumping right into this, here's a few pictures of the Lotus, just so you guys can get a little bit of a visual. It's a little easier than just taking little camera clips. But so first off, the metal that it's made with, I mean, it is CNC finished. It's very high grade. I can definitely attest to the quality that's being put into this. Now, for me, this is definitely not a wind cover. For anybody that thought, just by the looks of this, would be that it's a wind cover or a very expensive wind cover, it's not the case at all. It has nothing to do with being a wind cover. So I would actually compare this more to being more comparable to a screen. Those basic screens that are replacing aluminum foil. But I mean, that's the category I'm going to compare it in, but it's no comparison as far as the quality levels between the two. For me personally, I really dislike screens. I prefer to use foil unless I'm in a complete bind. But what's different about this, you can see the inside of it. It doesn't have actual holes in it. Now, there's slits on the edges, or the outer rim, that basically allow for the airflow. So that's how the air is, the air actually gets into the bowl, and that's what makes this product very, very unique. On the bottom, you've got bumps that disperse the heat. I mean, the idea is brilliant. I mean, you're dispersing heat, the bumps are big enough and deep enough to make a difference and actually heat everything all together. So by now you've already judged and you've already concluded that there's really no rotation heat management necessary. It's all in the charcoal, which I'll show you in the next picture here. But basically, everything just burns all together at once. So it just goes straight on to the top of your bowl of your choice. But everything gets burned at once. You don't rotate this thing at all. So, but as far as the bowl types, I am going to touch on that for a bit. They actually say that using a funnel bowl gets best results. I have found the same. I have tried it in a vortex. It didn't work that well. I've also tried it in like an Egyptian bowl, my Tangier small funnel bowl, as well as like a regular mod bowl. Now what I'm finding works best for this is, like a Chinese made funnel bowl. And for me personally, I like to use my Tangier's small just because of the heat management that the clay has. But the thing is, because the Lotus is CNC machined, and it has a perfect fit. Now you guys know Tangier's bowls, Egyptian heads, they're all handmade. So there's going to be a bit of variance in the clay, which can cause air leaks, and that's definitely an issue. So the thing with the Lotus is that you just put it straight on. Like I said, there's no type of heat management necessary. But you can see this is basically how the coals go in after you place it on the bowl. This is how the coals go in, and you just pop it in there, and there's absolutely no rotation needed whatsoever. You can throw more coals on, or you can actually adjust the vents to adjust the heat, and I'll mention that a little bit later in the video. But yeah, here's a picture of the Lotus actually right before it hits the tobacco, so you can kind of see like how it's supposed to be. What I have loaded up is Starbucks Apple Doppio. Yeah, I will. Yeah. So there's a, you want to leave a little bit of gap, but for this you do want it touching the tobacco so that the heating elements actually touch the tobacco. The one thing I do want to mention, because I haven't taken a puff yet for you guys, but this is about 20 minutes into it. And this is the clouds that you're getting in 20 minutes in. As you can see, normal, very good actually. As if it were charcoal straight on there. So this is how it would be basically if I had aluminum foil and charcoal straight on it. Now the thing that I want to mention is, because this is 20 minutes into it, I've timed this on 4 separate occasions on different bowls as well, but it takes about 7 minutes, 7 minutes and 30 seconds to be more accurate, but 7 minutes for you to actually get a substantial amount of smoke. In the first basically in the first 4 minutes, you're almost going to get nothing, as this thing just heats up. Now you just basically let it sit on there and it cooks it for you. I mean, it is very simple, very user friendly. Now the thing I want to mention about the vents. The vents are there, and I can see, you vent it out. But the thing about this unit, it is thick. It's very thick metal, but the vents, I don't see it being very functional at all. I mean, granted, you do want some sort of ventilation, and it does a great job in, letting the fumes go out. But as far as the ventilation goes, I'm not noticing any kind of difference if you let the vents open fully or if you keep them closed all the way through. Now, I've smoked bowls all the way through both ways. Honestly, it makes no difference. The whole metal is heating up, so there's really no need for it. Now, one thing I do want to mention about this, it does get extremely hot. The whole thing heats up basically to the temperature of a coal, so you don't want to be touching it at all. This is just the prototype, so there's no heat grips yet. That will be added on, as well as the Lotus stamp or the Kaloud stamp. But when it goes into full production, it will have that high heat grip on it. But for the time being, I mean, yeah, I can get very, very severely burnt if I were to touch it right now, just the way it is. So I found that I can definitely get an entire session through no problem. I wouldn't go so far as a second round of coals, because it does, burn everything out all the way through. There's no, there's no rotation. It lasts very long, I'll give it that much. Now, the main thing, the biggest thing, is what does it do to the taste and the whole smoking experience. Now, this one it seems like it could be a very straightforward review, analysis, whatever you want to consider it, but there's a lot to this. I mean, I would say this is definitely a game changer. Now, it could be in a good way and it could be in a bad way, it just depends on the smoker. Now, what I'm going to compare this to is kind of like a cigarette smoker and e-cigs, how they're, how they are. So, like this is basically eliminating the most dangerous component of smoking hookah, which is the carbon monoxide from the charcoal. It goes up, but it doesn't go as much down into your bowl, because, I mean, you are sucking the fumes in, but there's no direct contact from the coal to the tobacco. That, in theory, is amazing. It's perfection. That's how hookah should be smoked now, in theory. But, for someone like me and for a lot of you guys that have been smoking for so long, you're almost used to riding a bicycle a certain way, and now you've added, or you've taken away a pedal, or you've added a third pedal. I mean, that's the best way I can describe it. The flavor, you get the whole taste of the tobacco and all the flavoring in it, but it feels watered down. I mean, that's something that's very real and something that needs to be identified to you guys. It does feel watered down a little bit, just because you're not getting that direct heat. The temperature gets up there high enough to burn off everything that's needed in there, but it's a little bit lower heat. And granted, I could throw higher heat coals on here, but I just don't think that's going to make much of a difference. I mean, you can't even throw 3 coals on really unless you just take off the top cover. So I mean, I guess there's ways around it, but then you'd be scorching your tobacco. Now, if I was starting out smoking hookah, never smoked before, I think I would start out with this, to be honest with you guys. I mean, it's very pure, it's very clean. It takes the hassle out of foil, it takes the hassle out of poking holes. and all that guesswork that's involved in it, I could see this product going very far, to be very honest with you guys. But for me personally, I think I'm just used to riding a bicycle a certain way, and that's just my honest opinion on that part. But overall, a very, very innovative product. I'm very interested to see these guys entering into the market into this type of segment. I want to say they're a few months out from what I remember, and this is going to be priced at $60, so $59.99. Now, I know that might come as a shock to you guys. It seems very expensive, but this comes with a lifetime warranty. It's something that, I mean, obviously if you smoke every day, you're going to use every day. And for $60 and a lifetime warranty, I think it's very much justifiable. But yeah, I mean, I think that about wraps it up. Very happy to be reviewing this product, and excited for them to actually release this in full production in a few months, and I'll definitely try it again once it comes out, once they finalize. So, this was Jake, hookahrev.com. Check out the website. There's been a lot of focus on the website. Any of the reviews that you don't see on the YouTube channel, you can usually find on the website, hookahrev.com. Check it out. Like us on Facebook. You know the drill. See you guys next time.